Good morning. Good morning, students. The last class we started our first unit. What, where, how, and when. We discussed in the last class what do you mean by history, why do we need to study history, the periodization of history, etc. Periods were categorized into prehistoric period, proto-historic period, and historic period. Okay. Then we studied about how did we get the information about these periods, or what were the sources of information. We already told you archaeological sources and literary sources. Okay. Only now we will study about several 100,000 years ago what happened in our locality or Indian region, different parts of Indian region. Okay. Let's start. Before starting our topic, you take your textbook and here a map. Here is, we can see a map. Then first topic, 100,000 years ago, how did people live near Narmada River? We already know people are starting to live near river valleys. Now we will learn the near Narmada river or the near banks of Narmada. How did people lived about 100,000 years ago? Okay, first you take your textbook and locate to where Narmada is situated. Okay. Here this map, the center part. See, look here, look the center part. You can see Narmada river. Here, 100,000 years ago, here lived people and starting living about 100,000 years ago. How did people live during that period? How did what was their livelihood? Means for livelihood. Can you say there is no livelihood? They didn't know agriculture and basic things. How did they earned livelihood? They only did they gather food products, forest products, then fruits, roots, and from nearest locality. Okay, how did, if we ask how did people lived in rivers near the river Narmada, you can answer they were, first thing, the people in this area were gathers only. What do you mean by gathers? Gathers search and find the food items. They searched near the forest and surrounding areas. They find fruits, roots, and some medicines, etc. Okay. Okay, I hope that you understood how did people living in on the banks of Narmada. Okay, how did they live? They lived by gathering. What were the things they gathered? They gathered food products like forest products like fruits, fruits, roots, such items. Then also they hunted animals also. They knew the hunting. And the next, the same map, look the northwest part, you can see Suleiman and Kirtar hills. Take your textbook and look the northwest part of India. And here we can see Suleiman and Kirtar hills. Though these two places, how did people lived about 8,000 years ago? Okay, first we discussed 100,000 years ago what happened near banks of Narmada. Then from the 100 years ago, this Suleiman and Kirtar hills, people progressed more than the Narmada people. Okay, what happened during that period? What was the progress during that period? Narmada or 100 years ago, people didn't know agriculture. Okay. Then 8,000 years ago, Suleiman and Kirta, his people cultivated wheat, barley, etc. Then also they reared animals. These are the specialty of the people in Suleiman and Kirta hills. Okay. Okay. I hope that you understood how did people lived in Narmada area and the people living in Garo Hills, not Garo Hills, Suleiman and Kirta Hills. Now we will discuss how people lived in Garo Hills and Vindhyas. Okay. First we discussed in Narmada area about 100,000 years ago, the people didn't know about agriculture and progressed living methods. Then after about 8,000 years ago, the living conditions improved and they started cultivation of wheat and barley and rearing animals. They reared animals. Then look the map. Look at the map and where located Garo Hills. Northeastern part we can see Garo Hills and in central India we can see Vindhyas. How did people lived during the ancient period in Garo Hills and Vindhyas? Garo Hills located in northeast part of India and Vindhyas central India. The most important feature of that period was the people started rice cultivation. We can see each stage human developed and progressed by step. Okay. Okay. Look the map again. Trace the Indus and its tributaries. Indus means Sindhu river. During the early time, Sindhu river was known as Indus. It located the western part of this map, Indus, and these tributaries stretched to the northern parts. What were the main tributaries of Indus? What do you mean by tributaries? Tributaries means small rivers that fall into bigger river. Here we can see tributaries of smaller rivers that flow into a bigger river. These tributaries of Sindhu are Jhanam, Chenab, Satluj, Ravi, Beas. These tributaries flow into the bigger river Indus. How did the people live near Indus region and the near tributaries of Indus? How did they live? They also progressed in agriculture and trade. In 4,700 years ago, cities flourished on the banks of Indus. Then 2,500 years ago, cities developed on the banks of Ganga. Indus Valley Civilization, people used which weapon or which metal? Bronze. That was a mixed form of copper and lead. These people could not enter in the Ganga area because of in Ganga there was a thick forest. For clearing this thick forest, they had no weapons and like iron weapons. They had no iron weapons. After 4,700, the area was controlled by the Sindhu area was controlled by Indus people. Then the Aryans came in India in 2,500 years ago. They after the Aryans coming in India, they cleared the forest in Ganga and started agriculture, and the cities again developed during that time. Okay. Okay. Then look where Ganga is situated. Okay. Take your textbook and look where Ganga is situated. We already told 2500 years ago, some major cities developed near the banks of Ganga. Then what were the progress? They attained? The people attained during that time. We already told you from the 100,000 years ago to 2,500 years. These periods we can see several developments of progress attained by human. These periods where we can say this period as prehistoric period. There was no documents. We only get documents in historic period. Already learned history was period of history was divided into three: prehistoric, historic, and prehistoric, proto-historic, and historical. We only got information or sources of information on historic period. Prehistoric period information on prehistoric period was we didn't get sources, only we get from archaeological evidences. So we can speculate only how happened, what happened, and where it happened. Okay. Then I hope you looked where Ganga is situated. During that time, 2500 years ago, the south of the Ganga, there existed a strong, powerful kingdom that was Magadha. When 2500 years ago, near Ganga region, where existed a powerful kingdom that was known as Magadha. Now, Magadha is situated in Bihar. Okay. What were the progress they attained during that time? What were the progress they attained? We already know through the trade several cities developed, and men and women started cultivated, and the cultivated items moved one place to another, and they rearing animals. Then through the people travelled from one part of the subcontinent to another. The hills and high mountains including Himalaya, deserts, rivers and seas made journeys dangerous to their travelling. We already know the travelling through Himalayas was very dangerous. Now we have so many facilities to travel one place to another. We can travel on road by vehicles, and by sea we use ship, boat, etc. Then by air we have aeroplanes. Such facilities we have today, but during that time such places, the traveling through such places were very difficult, especially through Himalayan region. Okay. So men and women moved in search of livelihood. So as also to escape from natural disasters like floods or droughts. If they gathered food products from nearest village or cultivation took place, but if there is a natural calamity like a flood or drought happen, what will they do? They will move from another place. Sometimes men marched in armies. We already told here exists a powerful kingdom that was Magadha. So men in the several families joined armies in a powerful kingdom. Then merchants travelled with caravans or ships, carrying valuable goods from place to place. Then religious teachers walked from one village to another village, one town to another. Finally, some people perhaps travelled driven by a spirit of adventure, wanting to discover new and exciting places for geographical discoveries, for finding new cities and new region. They preparing for adventurous traveling. For what? For finding new places. Geographical discoveries also existed. All these this led to the sharing of ideas between people. By starting one place to another, people traveling one place to another, idea sharing between places they moved, and the people coming here and the people go there. So this led to sharing of different ideas. Is consider an example. If from India, traveler will go through some particular country like Pakistan or Afghanistan, European countries, we can they understand what were the culture of India's and our cultural and political social life, such like that religious, especially religious. Like that, when we entered in Europe, we could understand what type of religious, culture, or political system existed in Europe. So, like that, it led to that. When people traveled from one place to another, it led to the sharing of ideas. We already told you, men and women go for another place for earning livelihood. When they moved from one place to another, when they faced natural calamities like drought, flood, etc., they moved from one place to another for what? For earning their livelihood. Then they moved from one place to another for trade. Particular, if consider an example, we have enough spices. In Kerala, we have enough spices. European countries, for what purpose Europeans came in India? For sell their products and to take our or to buy our these spices, especially spices and cotton. For what they bought of spices and cotton from India. It was scarce in Europe. It was less in Europe, so we have enough spices and cotton materials in India. So they came here and sell their products and brought our products. Like that, we sell our products in Rome, Greek, in ancient periods. Then we as a reward we get Roman coins. So we can see Roman coins in different parts of India, especially in museum. Okay. Here is a question. How did the sharing of ideas between people happen? How did ideas share? First point, the men and women traveled for what? For earning their livelihood. Then they moved to which purpose? Sell their products. Sell their products. Okay. This created sharing of ideas between different people. Okay. Here we discussed what happened in Narmada region. How did the people living in Narmada region? Then how did the people lived in 8,000 years ago in Sulaiman and Kartar Hills? Then 4,700 years ago, how did people lived in Garo Hills? Then what happened in or what type of progress developed in Indo-Gangetic plains? Then what were the administrative system existed in Gangetic plain? Then what were the people engaged in? What type of job they received in the people Gangetic plain? And how did the idea sharing between people in different regions? Okay. Okay, we already discussed people traveled from one place to another. It created sharing of ideas. Okay, this sharing of ideas, how did help sharing of ideas in our culture and religious political life. These ideas helped in the field of cooking. Even cooking, it influenced us. Then cultural cultural traditions. Then carving stone. Carving stone, composing music, especially we can see these cultural synthesis in the field of music. Composing music, etc. Okay. As a result of sharing of ideas, India formed a cultural tradition in the field of which field? Culture. In the field of culture, carving stone, or weapon making, then composing music, etc. If consider an example, we can see in composing music in medieval period, our music, Hindustan music is composed or mixed with the Persian music, then Carnatic music. So many combination we can see in the combination of music. Then carving stone, different types of weapons we can see from if we traveled in Arabs or European countries, we can study what type of weapons they used, what type of metals they used, how did they carved their stones, or how did they make that such matters we can see from other cultural tradition. Then another important factor is name of our country. Name of our country. How did the name Hindustan arrived? The name Hindustan emerged. How did it emerge? Hindu means Sindhu or Indus. We already know we have a glorious past, that is Indus Valley civilization. Indus means Sindhu. That Indus means Sindhu. Okay. Northwest part, the Greeks coming from northwestern part about 2500 years ago, they used Indus for Hindus. Why did they use the term Hindus? They can't pronounce the letter H. Yes. Instead of yes, they used the letter H. Okay? They can't pronounce S, Sindhus. Then some of them pronounced Indus. But the Greeks used Sindhus for Hindu. They used Hindus for Sindhu. They can't pronounce S. So they used Hindus. This way we got the name Hindustan. Okay, here observe your textbook. Two of the words we often use to our country are India and Bharat. The word India comes from the Indus. From the word Indus we got the name India. The word India comes from the Indus called Sindhu. In Sanskrit, we can say Sindhu for Indus. Then the Iranians and the Greeks who came through the northwestern part of India about 2500 years ago and were familiar with the Indus, called it as Hindus or Indus. And the land of the east of the river was called India. The name Bharata was used for a group of people who lived in northwest and who are mentioned in Rigveda. The earliest composition of Sanskrit dated to about 3000 years ago. Rigveda, the Bharat, Rigveda, the term Bharat mentioned in Rigveda. Rigveda, the first and the largest Veda in our Veda is Rigveda. There they mentioned the name Bharat. There is a story behind Bharat. There is a story. The ruler named Bharat or Bharata lived in India. So we got the name Bharata or Bharat. There is a story behind the name of Bharat. Okay. How did our country get different names? Okay, how many names you know about India? We usually use India for our country. India is a modern name of our country. India, Hindustan and Bharat. These are the names we used to mention our country. One of the important name came years ago, 2000 years ago, we got the name Hindustan. How did we get the name Hindustan? The northwest, the Greeks came from northwest in 2500 years ago. They can't pronounce the letter S. For calls Hindustan, they can't pronounce S, so they used H. They Hindus or Indus. They pronounced India for Hindus or Indus. Thus, we get the name Hindustan. Okay. Okay, we discussed today how did people lived near the Narmada river. During that period, people were only Yadavas. From Yadavas, in Suleiman and Kirtan culture, they developed into cultivation, wheat and barley cultivated and rearing animals. Then Vindhya people progressed again and again. The Indus and the Gangetic plain. Then in this period of 4,700 years ago, cities flourished. 2,500 years ago, in Gangetic plains, new cities flourished and new powerful kingdoms originated. We discussed about Magadha. During that time, Magadha was a powerful kingdom. Rulers were very powerful. Then idea sharing and cultural synthesis emerged during that period. How did cultural synthesis emerge during that period? People moved from one place to another to sharing their culture and trade for trade, then source of their livelihood, and even cooking was spread. The idea of cooking was spread each other, and at this time the cultural synthesis arose in this period. Different culture, they familiarized different culture and different composing music and weapons. Studied about different weapons by moving one place to another. Okay.